Okay, I had an idea for a signal test recently, and so I wanted to make a little video about it. I was thinking about how the signal operates. This says 7860, and I realized one of the jacks on the remote is a pass-through for current because it lets the current go through from one side of the isolated section to the other. And I have an idea, say 99% certain of how this test will go, because I don't think it should pull any power from the transformer, but I'm going to explain it to you. So I'm using a multimeter today for the test because I don't really want to get a 12-volt motor out right now because all my sets are in boxes. And then I'll just grab the signal set here. So I'll do a little setup. I'm not going to do the stoplight because it should be pretty obvious which part it's going to be in. The stoplight is actually, it doesn't have any function for the signals, for how the signal works. So here's a very simple circuit, right? So I'm going to take the multimeter and set it to continuity. So it's not measuring voltage, it's just measuring if there's continuity between the two metal pieces. So for example, if I put them on this straight metal rail, the numbers here is the resistance. That means there's continuity, so the current can get through the piece of metal, which is as expected because it's a solid piece of metal, right? But if I put the light to green, what it does is the signal passes current. You see this metal block here. I've explained this in many videos, so I would advise that you go watch one of my other videos about the signal. I have a great review that I did and a sealed unboxing actually, so you should watch that if you want to learn more about how the signal works. But this connector essentially bridges the gap between the two metal pieces that is isolated when the signal's red. When it's green, the current goes through one side of the wire, through the signal, and then it connects the two wires, and then it goes back to this side of the signal. So the signal is green, which means that it should have continuity if I put the leads on either side. And yes, you can see the numbers on the multimeter, so there is continuity. And then if I press it to red, there should be no continuity, so it should just stay on one, which as you can see is the case on the multimeter screen. But what I wanted to test was, does this part still work when the remote is not plugged in? I think it will, because there's no actual current going to the signal that's going to the track. It's just a pass-through for current. So if I unplug this, and this transformer is on, by the way, so if I switch this to voltage and I plugged it into here, you can see there's about 17 volts going through, 17 volts of direct current, which is interesting because 12-volt trains say they run on 12 volt, but it's actually more like 16, 17 volts. Anyways, so the signal is red now, which means there should be no continuity. If I switch this back between these two sections, right, because it's isolated. But if I switch this to green, I believe that there will be continuity now because there's no current going to the signal. And yes, there is continuity. A little bit more resistance. That's interesting. Maybe it's because they're on opposite ends. Yeah, but there is continuity. So that was all that I wanted to test for today. It was just an interesting little test I had an idea for, and that's exactly how I thought it would go, but I wanted to confirm it and make a video about it. So that's it for today. I'm gonna make a couple of short videos explaining some more stuff about the 12-volt system while I'm waiting for the new set to arrive, and then I'll build everything back up. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.